builder that is inside of the reference image. And once again, you can use this exact process for creating any sort of AI avatar that you want. Whether you want an old grandma, whether you want a cat that is talking, you can use this exact same process. And now that we have the image output of the avatar that we want to use, we want to start animating this avatar. Now the tool that we're going to be using is called HeyGen, right? It's pretty self-explanatory in terms of how to generate this. What you can do is you can just copy this image, paste it into HeyGen, and you're going to go ahead and create a new avatar, create a virtual character by uploading a photo, and bang, it's going to go ahead and create the avatar this way. Pretty easy. And then what you're going to want to do here is like give it a name, Amish character, give it a age range, late middle age, male. In terms of the ethnicities, you don't really have to give it any ethnicity, and then you can just go ahead and create the avatar this way. And in just a couple minutes, right, you can choose whatever voice you want. I don't recommend using any of the HeyGen voices, but I'm just going to pick a random one so that it will generate over here, and you can see it is being fully generated like this. Now in terms of using this character in terms of an avatar, the main thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to use one of the models, either Avatar 4 or Avatar 5 in terms of the generations, but you're going to want to create the voiceover outside of the platform. Now, the tools that I recommend to create a voiceover is either 11 Labs, which actually has the most realistic voices, or you can use a tool like InWorld, Minimax. All of these other tools are actually very good in terms of generating the voices. So you can just go ahead and pick any of these other AI voiceovers. The main thing that you're going to want to look out for is to make sure that the AI voiceover doesn't sound too AI. You want to give it some variation in terms of its expression. You want to make it so that it actually pronounces the words correctly. So you're going to want to pick the right voice that is actually able to pronounce these words correctly. Now, if all of this seems super duper complicated, if you go to the link in the description, I have a waitlist for a tool that I'm building so that you don't actually have to go through all of this Claude Code, 11 Labs, InWorld nonsense in order to generate a full AI avatar video. Click the link in the description for that. So now that we have created the voiceovers either with 11 Labs or InWorld, which isn't a super complicated process, so I'm not going to show it, and you have the video that's generating inside of HeyGen because you've uploaded this voiceover, the next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create the visuals. And I'm going to tackle this, and this is going to be the most extensive part of this video because it is a much more in-depth process than you would think. So the reason a channel like this is so difficult to recreate is because of the visuals. And now I'm going to play on mute some of this video so that you can see what goes into it. Right, what you will notice is there's a lot of home B-roll with this. This is some video B-roll, and then there's some image B-roll, all layered on top of it. And it's somewhat of a complicated process, and it's a little bit hard in order to source images like this. But now that's no longer the case because you can use Claude Fable to do all of that, right? You can see that this is some pretty cool stuff. There's even a split screen over here. Now, actually stitching the entire video together is not super duper difficult. You can do it on CapCut, or you can even get Claude Fable to help you stitch the entire video together. The hard part is actually sourcing these visuals. Now, I want to give you an idea of exactly how to think about image sourcing and video sourcing so that you can use the different tools over here on the screen in order to put it together. So once you have the transcript of the video, which you can generate with AI using Subscriber AI, you can click the link in the description for that, and you've generated the voiceover, the hard part is image sourcing. So now, instead of only finding images from stuff like Storyblocks or Pixabay, we're going to want to use more than one method. And then when we source the images, we're going to want to rate the images out of 10 to how well it actually matches the script and the overall theme before approving that image and then using that inside of the edit. So the three tools that we're going to want to use is image sourcing inside of YouTube. So we're going to want Claude Fable to go onto YouTube, watch videos, and then take certain snapshots and then use that as images inside of the video. Not only that, we're going to also want you to use a tool like Pixabay. Now, Pixabay is similar to Storyblocks, where you can see all the stock image and stock B-roll that you can go ahead and use inside of your video. So this is another avenue that we can use in order to find images if we can't find it on YouTube. And then the last thing is to use the Brave API search. So the Brave API search is basically a way for Claude Fable to go onto the web to search for certain images and then grab those images from either Pinterest or Reddit in order to use inside of your video. So that way, when we use 3 different avenues for Claude Fable in order to source for images, the likelihood that it actually comes up with something that's really good is much higher. And as for video sourcing, we're going to want to use Pixabay, of course, because you can find videos inside of this. And we're also going to want to use YouTube, where it can go out, watch videos, find a certain 3 to 5 second clip, take that clip and then cut it to the desired length. And then actually, once you have all of these images and once you have the HeyGen avatar all put together, you can actually fully render the video, which I'm going to show you the exact process for this right now. So you're going to want to paste this prompt into Claude Code or Claude Fable, where you can see over here, I'm going to